Hi guys, Ken here from Backpacking Light, and today I'm out here in this lovely little village called Sävar, and it's actually here that I moved to 20 years ago when I moved to Sweden. This was the first town I had lived in, and it's just a really tiny village. It's got about 4,000 people that live here, maybe bigger, maybe smaller now, I don't know. Yeah, and I just kind of came back here for nostalgic reasons, but also to do some tent reviews. And right now, today I have the 6 Moon Designs Lunar Duo Explorer. This tent weighs 1.1 kilos, and that's without the trekking poles, or without the tent pegs, and without the seam sealing. So 1.1 without all that, 2-man tent. And it's a massive 2-man tent. I'm gonna go ahead and set it up and talk about it when it's actually up. But I just kind of wanted to give an idea of the volume of it. So that's how big it is in a hand. You can see it's actually quite voluminous, and you can only pack it down so much, as it does have some of these aluminum parts that are inside the tent itself. So I'll go ahead and set it up, and you can kind of get an idea of how big this is. Okay, now it's properly set up. And as you can see, it has this kind of a nice little setup where you have this one lock here, and you can easily just open that up so that you have good size on the one vestibule or both the vestibules. And the vestibule, like the tent itself, is quite large. I'll put some stuff in there so that you can see. And as I have it set up now, it's not completely wind tight. But in most cases, you don't need a tent to be completely wind tight. So I'll go ahead and climb in to kind of show the size of the tent itself. Hopefully it can be seen. It's definitely one of the larger 2-man tents that you can buy. I mean, it's massive for the weight. There's no part of me, I'm not even close to touching anything here. Now, it's a nice sunny day like today. You could easily open it up completely. And you can do that on both sides of the tent. Now, some other things to keep in mind is you can, if really bad weather days and so on, you can pitch it pretty close to the ground. And you can pitch the vestibules tight. The good things, it's light, it's big. It is probably the biggest 2-man tent for the weight that you can find. I mean, there are lighter 2-man tents, of course. The duplex is one of them, which I'll be posting up a review here soon as well. It's relatively easy to set up. It's cheap. Yeah. Now, some of the negative things, and why I would, probably say for the most part that you wouldn't want to buy this right now, is that there are some issues with the construction. I don't know if this is all of them ever made, or if it's just the 2017 versions and the 2018 versions, or if they've updated it. But you'll see on almost every single one of these that I've seen, every single one, it doesn't matter where I've seen them, it doesn't matter if they're my own or if they're somebody else's. I've seen about 15 of these now. through 2017, 2018, and all of them had the exact same construction problem. And I'll go ahead and show that. So right here at the very top on the Lunar Duo, you have that pole that you insert. And there's nothing strange about that. But the problem is that the material under here, let's see if we can get a good video on that. This material right here, this needs to be X-Pack or a thick nylon, a seal nylon if you're going to have that as a support. Because what happens on every single one of these is right there. And this one I've actually repaired twice now. And if I repair it again, I'll put some X-Pack in there to really try to fix that. I mean, it doesn't hurt the overall stability of the tent, but it certainly makes you question the overall quality of the tent. So if you know how to fix the tent, and it's actually a pretty easy fix, you could probably just buy some cheap X-Pack or tear down one of your other pieces of equipment, cut out a little rectangular piece and stitch it up there to give it that extra strength. But it's not something I like, right? I mean, I like, even if the tent only cost me $100, I would still want it to be structurally sound, and I wouldn't want bits and pieces falling off pretty quickly. So hopefully Six Moon Designs fixes that in the future and in the future production models and so on. And I'm sure that they're aware of it, as it's such a common occurrence in the Lunar Duo Explorers that it's hard not to know about it. So anyway, the Lunar Duo Explorer, massive two-man tent, lightweight at 1.1 kilo, about 1.2 with tent pegs and seam sealed, easy to set up, compacts down nicely if you take out those aluminum poles. Cheap at $250, it's hard to beat at that price. But it does have a minor issue of that stitching up there at the top that does give out, and it makes you question the overall quality of the tent. So if you're just looking for a good solution and you can patch it up yourself, $250 is hard to beat. But if you want something that you feel is going to be able to hold for a long time, either wait for new production model or buy a different tent. So yeah, I mean, sorry guys, I do like Six Moon Designs. I like the company, I like the people behind the company. I mean, I love the Lunar Solo. I think it's an awesome tent. In fact, I'll show it up here soon enough. But this one isn't a home run for me. So yeah, backpackinglight.se. I'm Ken. Hope you guys enjoyed the review.